Hello and welcome to another Share Your Story, Meet the Author episode. I'm very excited because not only are we meeting a brand new author, we're also having a book birthday, which I love having book birthdays. And we're meeting Lauren today. Welcome, Lauren.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. Tell me about your new book. Where did you get the idea for this one?
It's actually not all my idea.
Ooh.
It's my children's bedtime story. So how it all started was my husband would be on night shift. My boys, who were toddlers at the time, I would put their beds together and snuggle in between them. And this is how I would put them to bed. And it just so happened that it was so much fun that it lasted many years. And the story kind of evolved. So where we got the idea from the book is actually my children's imaginations.
That's amazing. And isn't it funny, because I've got a very similar story. Like when I became a mum, I started going to bookshops and things like that and thinking, you know what, I think the stories that I tell could be just as good as these stories that I was finding in the bookshop. So it's funny how that happens. Us mums kind of going, yeah, I could do that too. So getting that book in your hands, oh my gosh, for the first time after you've imagined it and it's had such a beautiful backstory, when you actually had a copy of that book in your hand, what was your favorite part of that?
So this is our book. I actually have two answers to this question.
Yay!
My favorite part about seeing the finished product is the fact that my boys illustrated most of it.
Stop!
It was really exciting.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, really exciting. This book started when my boys were about 2 and 4, many nights of the week. So the story evolved. When my eldest was about 6 and in the early years of school, he actually thought of the conflict resolution himself with this. So for me, that's kind of the favorite part for me.
Oh, I totally get that. That's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. So it's been a real team effort, this book, like from having the idea, workshopping it with the boys, them doing the illustrations. That's amazing that this book is such a team effort. Did you mean that to happen, or did that just kind of happen organically?
It actually was out of circumstance as to why we published the book.
Right.
It was never my intent to ever be an author. I think of myself more as like a storyteller, someone who's really good at let's just see where this kicks off and let's just bounce ideas. It's how we do road trip stories and campfire stories, and but how this came about was my job was pandemic affected. I lost my aviation job, which wasn't nice for many years. And my husband became really unwell. So to distract us, one of my girlfriends said to me, well, if you could do anything, what would you do? And I said, well, we've got this story we've been telling for years, and it's actually going quite down a rabbit hole where it's getting quite lengthy. Maybe we should write it. So we spent nights together at the dinner table, rehashing the actual story, putting it on paper, seeing where it flows, creating the characters, drawing the characters, and eventually a manuscript was born. So that for me is sort of what's come out of everything.
That's amazing. So you talked about the dinner table. It took me, this is being 100% honest, I only got a desk in 2020, and my first book was published in 2011 because everything was done at the dinner table. I just thought I was so fancy. I got like a grant from my local council, and I went to Officeworks and I bought like a desk, and like my husband found this on the side of the road, like someone was throwing it out, and I literally have like 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters in my kids' playroom. And
that's actually quite COVID safe, isn't it? The 1.5 meters.
It is. And the kids call it my office. Like seriously, it's just I don't even want to turn the camera around that way because you don't want to see all that. But you talked about the kitchen table, and for a lot of mums, that's our office. So do you have a favorite place to be creative, or is it just something that happens pretty organically? Because your whole family sounds like that they're a bit creative.
That's kind of how we've sort of just always been. Like it's I understand there's very much a timeline on the time we have with our kids. So if I can hold them hostage and do some imagining together and some story time, many trips we've had where we've, gone camping or road tripping, other than our I Spy and counting how many white cars and red cars we see. But storytelling is kind of what we've always done. I just know that it's not going to be forever, so I've tried to get as much of that in as possible.
Oh my God, I feel that in my waters. Like, we are kindred spirits with that. Especially because I've got big boys as well. So I've got 2 older boys, and then I've got Tommy, and it's just a blink. It is a blink. And I love that you have this book that is capturing that moment in time. And it's oh my God, it's a legacy. It's a beautiful legacy that you can share with your kids. So you said that, being an author is different than being a storyteller, and I totally agree. And it's something that we talk about when I do school visits, because you don't have to be an author. You can just be an awesome storyteller and just make up amazing stories on the playground and have a book that is special that no one else reads. Being an author is a brave, big step for a lot of people, because people that you don't know are going to read your story and have an opinion on your story, which is not always fun for creative people. So if you didn't want to be necessarily an author, but you've always been a storyteller, what did you want to be when you grew up? I say grow up because I haven't grown up yet.
Actually, when I was at school, when I was little, I played many instruments. I always wanted to be a music teacher. Just the creative side of listening to the notes and what come out of the notes, and when you put notes together. But then as I grew, I discovered travel. And that's how and then it's sort of the creative mysteries of culture and food, and even different religions in different countries, and seeing how it all meshes. And that then caught my eye, so I forged a career in aviation.
Wow, that's amazing. So you've got this beautiful eclectic balance of loving music and travel and being creative and storytelling. So out of all of that, I mean, we know a mum is an amazing job, but what's now where you are at this crazy time in 2022, what's the best part of what you get to do now?
Part about this would have to be watching both adults and children when I tell them about this story, or even when I've started to read this story, watching their eyes grow bigger and their smiles grow wider, getting lost in the magic of the storyline. So the power of imagination. I've noticed, and this is almost 99% of the time, it doesn't matter what their morning has been, whether, mum yelled at them for not putting their school bag together, or grandma had to drop them off at 6:30 because mum's already at work, or whatever the situation be, both adults and children, start them on the story, get them thinking about magic. If you could walk through walls, if you could be invisible, if you could teleport, if you could swim with turtles underwater, what would you do? And the moment you get those brains thinking, like I said, the eyes grow wide, the smile gets bigger, and it's almost like those troubles of morning or whatever morning they had disappear. So the best part is just the power of imagination.
I love that. And it's funny, isn't it? Because I just like listening to you speak, and a lot of people say to me, oh, I wish I'd done this earlier. Like I wish I hadn't waited so long. But I don't think you could have written this story if you hadn't been through all the lived life experience that you went through. You know what I mean? Like, timing is everything. And even though the 2020 was crappy for a lot of reasons, and your beautiful travel job and everything didn't work out, look what came of it. Like, look what you did. Oh my God, show me that beautiful book again. Like,
thank you so much. That means a lot.
Universe is just going, dude, Everything has led you up to that moment. I love that. So do you have advice for people who are kind of watching going, I really resonate with that. Like I resonate with that story is different than author. I resonate with the power of imagination. I resonate with the kids grow up so quick and I want to capture and I want to collaborate. What advice would you have for those people?
Just do it. I can think of a million reasons to say no, but then you can need to think of a million reasons to say yes. And I understand. 3 of my absolute amazing closest friends are single mums with 3 children, and they all keep me accountable. They've all sort of said, you find time in your day. We all know everyone's busy, and these women have taught me how to just do it.
Yeah.
I guess even if it's just a couple of hundred words or it's just a small drawing, something is always better than nothing. And I have so many, I guess, of my friends, and my husband, he always keeps me accountable. He says, this is important. You will find time. And it's true, you do. You just do.
You do, but you're so brave to tell anybody. I didn't tell anybody.
Oh, really?
Until my first book was actually in my hands, because I had so many no's and so many contracts fall through and everything. So I think you're amazingly brave to hold yourself accountable like that, because I wasn't that brave. And I just think you've been brave all the way along. Oh my God, like the fact that this book has come out of such adversity and it's going to help so many people, like not only the kids who are going to read it and love it, because it's an awesome book and it's so engaging, and especially I think reluctant readers are going to love it, because there's nothing that reluctant readers love more than having that pressure taken off them and gone, you know what, just read it. It's not meant to be something that you're going to be tested on. It's not going to be something that somebody's going to want to have an in-depth conversation with you about. We just want you to read it, and we want your imagination muscle to grow. So I love that. But so many people that you're going to inspire because of the journey you took to write it and the collaboration process with your kids, and how you've overcome so many things to have this beautiful book in your hands. I absolutely salute you, and I just think that you're amazing. So if people want to get their hands on this gorgeous book, or more importantly want to contact you to find out more about how they can collaborate with you, or find out, maybe ask some more questions, what's the best place that people can get in contact with you?
I have a website, lbehackney.com. I'm on Facebook at The Lolly Shop, and I'm on Instagram, lbehackney. And the name LBE Hackney is actually myself and my 2 boys' initials. So I don't have a ridiculously long name.
That's amazing. I love that so much. So I'll put all of that information in the comments under the video as well. Make it super easy for people to get in contact with you. I love The Lolly Shop. I think you're an amazing author. Can I be very sneaky and ask, have you got the bug? Do you think there will be more books coming out? Stop it! I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, cool. So watch this space, people. Big things happening. Make sure you jump on and follow Laura. Support her boys. Jump on the Lolly Shop website. More things coming. Who doesn't love a Lolly Shop anyway? And I just want to thank you again for being such an amazing guest, and I can't wait to see what happens next with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, and meet some more amazing authors on Share Your Story.